This is my full review of Toy Story 4. We went and saw it yesterday, and I was impressed by how far Pixar did with the animation, and the storyline in it was amazing. And I want to talk about all that today in this video. First of all, hi to all the new dads out there. This is Dad Reviews. This is where I give you my unedited, hopefully more authentic look at the products that I like, use, and have, and movies I see. So if you're interested in that, you might want to consider clicking that subscribe button. So we took our kids, ages 6 and 8, to go and see this Toy Story 4 film, and it was great. I don't get into films that much. I used to watch them all the time, and there's almost like a certain expectation that I'm looking for. And whenever I went into this one, I was like, okay, it's Toy Story 4. They've already done 3 of them. What else can they really do with these characters? And Pixar is really, really good at creating a story. If you don't know what a story is, the premise of a story is that you need to have a beginning. Character wants, these are the characters and they want something. The middle, what obstacles do they have to come to achieve that? And then the ending is how it plays out in the end. What did they get? How did they grow as a character from getting to that ending prize? And man, Toy Story 4 basically took every single character and gave them their own storyline and how the stories intertwine together between the characters. I was totally fascinated by that. I believe that they took some characters from some of the older films and they kind of added a little bit more depth to them, a little bit more life to them, especially Bo Peep. They really flushed out that, and they really showed the connection that Woody had with Bo Peep. I'm not going to give away any spoilers, by the way, just to let you guys know. But I think that they did a fantastic job with establishing her character more and more and their relationship more and more. There was a lot of, it seemed like there was a lot of okay, this character has to go and do something, so they let them go and do their thing, and then this character has to go and do their thing and go do it on their thing, and then this character has to go and do this other thing. So it was very adventure driven because each of them had their own adventures that they needed to tackle. And the premise is Bonnie's going on a road trip. She created this special Forky character, which is, I didn't think that I would like the character just because it's different, I guess, maybe. And I thought it'd be kind of cheesy, but they did a really good job of giving him emotion and giving him a sense of purpose. Because that's basically what his story was, to show him he came from nothing, this character, and he thought he was trash, and to give him some kind of purpose throughout the film. And Bonnie loses Forky, and so the gang has to go and try and save Forky because it means so much to Bonnie. And so they all are jumping out of the RV window because they went on a road trip to try and go on each of the missions that they each had to go on. So there was a good balance of each one of them doing their own thing, but then all coming back together at the end to make something, to make the finale come along, if you like that. New character played by Keanu Reeves was Duke Kaboom. I thought he was great. Even he had a story within all the stories that are going on. They really, I'm very impressed by how well Pixar gave each character, they really fine-tuned the character, or they introduced a new character, and then they gave them a mission. Each one of them had a specific purpose that led to the grand finale ending. And you see them having that fear, overcoming that fear, having a setback, and then coming to that ending. It was just, I think that they really did a great job. Now, another aspect that I wanted to touch on is the animation of this film. OMG. Pixar, they've got animation down. I was looking at these characters, and I was looking at Woody's face and how he's supposed to be kind of like a squeaky, you can smush toy kind of face, and the texture on it and the lighting on it, because as opposed to Bo Peep, she has more of like that plastic look to her. So there's like, you know, the glares that come across on the neckline and on the face and the cheeks and all that, as opposed to Woody, who just had that very soft texture to him. I was very impressed by how well in fact, my wife even turned to me during the middle of the movie and she said, man, they really like have the textures down perfect on this movie. I was like, yeah, I know. So I was very highly impressed by that. Also, I can't remember the guy's name who directed this movie, but it was his directorial debut. And man, just some of the wide-scaping landscapes that he captured through animation I thought were amazing. Even some of the going into like the finer details and really capturing those close-up moments. The emotional, what do you call that? The emotions that he helped to bring out by the pauses and the music and the way the characters' faces look. Like, that's how good the animation has become. They just did a phenomenal job. Definitely got the lump in the throat, so expect something. And I think that they really captured a good story here that pulls at all the emotional strings of like putting you on the verge of tears to action-packed and what's gonna happen and what's this character gonna do, what's this character gonna do, how are they gonna get out of this situation. Just fantastic. Even a little bit of scariness to it, like some of these new characters that they have and the twists and the turns that they took with the characters. Phenomenal. I very much enjoy. In fact, down in the description below, I'll throw some links up to like Rotten Tomatoes and some of the other review websites, Common Sense Media, if you guys want to check that out to see if it's age appropriate for your kids. I link down in the description to if you guys are looking to buy tickets to go and watch it. We bought ours in advance, although we didn't need to because we live in Lafayette, Louisiana. But if you're in a bigger city, you probably want to buy your tickets in advance. I'll link it all up down in the description below. Y'all can go read other people's reviews, but they've all been, from what I've read, mostly positive. Rotten Tomatoes has a 98% on there. Just freaking fantastic movie. Go see it in the theaters. Go see it in the theater. Definitely one. If you can't see it in the theaters, definitely rent it, buy it, get it however you can. Watch it with your kids. Another aspect that I really loved about this is the development character-wise that they gave to Woody, because he now has this fork that he has to bring back to Bonnie, and he didn't take just like a brotherly or even a like just caring about this particular. You definitely saw the maturity to like a father figure, and I really, really like that, especially being a dad here. I think they did a really good job with dialogue and with just some of the scenes of them together, showing how Woody has progressed as a character and how he's almost like taking this new baby, if you will, under his arm so that he can take care of it, because it's like a baby where you have to take care of it and deliver it, out into the world. Another thing that I thought really funny, this is not a spoiler, it's just something that I noticed whenever she created Forky, and then Bonnie did it at school. She put it in her book sack, and then she left her book sack and all the toys came alive, and then Forky comes out of the book sack. It was very much, it reminded me, I don't know why, of the book sack being, the fork coming out, and it was like a birth. Like this new life form was birthed from the book sack. I don't know if they did that intentionally or not, but it's definitely something that I picked up on. And there were just all these very minute adult theme things, not like vulgar or anything like that, just adult themes in there that like kids probably wouldn't process, that type of thing. One thing that I did find hilarious was at some point, like, Woody was like, he wanted to say like, oh shoot, or something like that, and instead they said, oh, chutes and ladders, just silly things like that definitely we as adults pick up on. I'm sure there's some kids who might pick up on, little funny things like that, but the dialogue was great. The action was great. The emotional development was great. The character development was great. the sweeping shots and the directorial, the photography that they chose was fantastic. They did a really good job of capturing detail. I'm so pleased with this film. And I was skeptical too, because it was number 4. It's like, okay, we've seen 1, we've seen 2, we've seen 3. What more can they do? But I think because they have so many angles that they could take it, because there's so many different characters, that there's always something happening. Oh, another thing that I wanted to touch on was the beginning scene. I love whenever movies really capture your attention right from the beginning. I think that's good storytelling right there. And especially in today's day and age, you really need to capture that attention right then and there. And just like how I did in this video, talking about how I'm capturing your attention because it's a review of Toy Story 4 and that's what you clicked on here. Hopefully I've captured your attention all the way. But in Toy Story 4, there's this rainstorm, all the rain's coming down, and the one toy is caught out in the rain because it forgot to be brought back in, and the window gets closed, and so they have to figure out how to open it. Then they have to figure out how to get down there, and they figure out how to save them, figure out how to get through all the rain and all this. It was just such a fantastic opening sequence of mystery and action, and a little bit of terror there of how are they going to do this, and trying to figure it out, and good introduction to some of the characters, or just reliving some of those characters. And then they go into the beginning title sequence, I guess, and it was the Randy Newman song came on, You Got a Friend in Me, and almost reliving Andy as a boy, and then circling around to him giving his toys to Bonnie. And just that whole, it just flowed really well, because it's been 10 years since the last movie, since Toy Story 3. So they did a really good job of encompassing all that and bringing back the memories that you, the viewer, has to the movies, so that they could bring the story into the next level. They did a really fantastic job. And I also kind of think about how the first 3 movies, that trilogy, was the Andy trilogy. And I have a feeling that they're gonna do this second trilogy being the Bonnie trilogy. And it wouldn't surprise me if they just kind of keep handing these toys down, kind of almost how Star Wars is, if you think about it. I don't know. I very much enjoyed the film. Highly recommend that you guys go and watch it if you're a fan of Toy Story, Disney, animation, anything like that. Go check it out. If you guys like what we're doing here on Dad Reviews, make sure to click that subscribe button. I'll put some more videos right there on the screen that I think you guys might enjoy. Go and check those out. I'll see you on those videos. Thank you, Dads, for watching. That thumbs up is always appreciated, and Dad out.